Are you a Mac user, or are you considering switching to a Mac? If not, then the new M2 Pro and M2 Max will blow your mind. If you have not yet witnessed what the term power means, buckle up as we will surf through the most powerful computer of 2023. With a grand entry into 2023, Apple announced its new lines of MacBooks powered by the latest generation of its in-house, custom-designed chipsets, the M2 Pro and M2 Max. M2 Pro increases the architecture of M2 to produce up to 12-core CPU and up to 19-core GPU, concurrently with up to 32 GB of brief unified memory. M2 Max assembles on the abilities of M2 Pro, including an up to 38-core GPU, double the shared memory bandwidth, and up to 96 GB of unified memory. Its best-in-class performance per watt drives it to be the world's most robust and power-efficient chip for a pro laptop. Apple contends that compiling in Xcode is up to 2.5 times faster operating the M2 Pro than on the promptest Intel-based MacBook Pro, while graphics paces are up to 30% snappy than the M1 Pro. Both chips feature improved custom technologies, including a more rapid 16-core neural engine and Apple's Mighty Media engine. M2 Pro fetches pro performance to the Mac Mini for the foremost time, while M2 Pro and M2 Max take the game-changing rendition and powers of the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro even further. Assembled using a second-generation 5nm process technology, M2 Pro consists of 40 billion transistors, almost 20% better than M1 Pro and double the stake in M2. It offers 200 GB per second of unified memory bandwidth, double that of M2, and up to 32 GB of low-latency unified memory. The next generation 10 or 12-core CPU consists of up to 8 high-performance cores and 4 high-efficiency cores, resulting in a multi-threaded CPU rendition up to 20% more swiftly than the 10-core CPU in M1 Pro. Apps like Adobe Photoshop operate more serious workloads snappy than ever, and compiling in Xcode is up to 2.5 times quicker than on the most immediate Intel-based MacBook Pro. The GPU in M2 Pro can be customized with up to 19 cores, 3 more than the GPU in M1 Pro, and possesses a more extensive L2 cache. Graphics performances are up to 30% faster than M1 Pro, resulting in tremendous increases in image processing performance and allowing console-quality gaming. The M2 Max is the more powerful of the two chipsets, with 67 billion transistors, 10 billion better than M1 Max, and additionally 3 times than that of M2. M2 Max forces the performance and powers of Apple Silicon actually further. Its 400 GB per second of unified memory bandwidth is twice that of M2 Pro, 4 times that of M2, and it backs up to 96 GB of fast unified memory. So enormous files open instantaneously, and functioning across numerous Pro apps is fast and fluid. M2 Max offers the same next-generation 12-core CPU as M2 Pro. The GPU is more powerful, with up to 38 cores, and is matched with a more considerable L2 cache. Graphic speeds ascend up to 30% more swiftly than M1 Max. With 96 GB of memory, the new MacBook Pro with M2 Max can embark on graphics-intensive projects that contesting systems cannot even run. MacBook Pro with M2 Max brings outstanding performance, whether plugged in or operating on battery power. From powering visual effects to apprenticeship machine learning prototypes to sewing together gigapixel images, M2 Max is the world's most potent and efficient chip for a pro laptop. M2 Pro and M2 Max possess Apple's next-generation 16-core neural engine, competent of 15.8 trillion functions per second and up to 40% quicker than the last generation. M2 Pro has an incredibly decisive and efficient media engine, including CPU-accelerated H.264, HEVC, and ProRes video encoding and decoding, qualifying playback of numerous streams of 4K and 8K ProRes video while utilizing very little power. M2 Max features 2 video encoding engines and 2 ProRes engines, fetching up to 2 times faster video encoding than M2 Pro. Apple's latest photo signal processor furnishes more pleasing noise reduction and employs computational video to enrich camera image quality along with a neural engine. A next-generation secure enclave is a vital part of Apple's best-in-class security. Mac OS has been developed for Apple Silicon, and the assortment of Mac OS Ventura and industry-leading reinvigorated chips produces invincible performance and productivity for users. Mac computers with Apple Silicon have keys to more than 15,000 cloud-native apps and plugins that open the full potency of M-series chips. Mac OS Ventura gets new features, including Stage Manager and new abilities with handoff in FaceTime and continuity camera. Mac OS Ventura also retains big updates to Safari, Messages, Mail, Spotlight, and more, all of which are better responsive and operate efficiently on M2 Pro and M2 Max. M2 Pro and M2 Max help the latest MacBook Pro and Mac Mini fulfill Apple's high benchmarks for energy efficiency. The power-efficient rendition of Apple Silicon helps the pristine MacBook Pro acquire the longest battery life in a Mac, up to 22 hours. This is upshot in less time required to be plugged in and less energy depleted over its lifetime. Today, Apple is carbon neutral for international corporate operations, and by 2030, it intends to have zero climate effect across the whole business, which encloses manufacturing supply chains and all product life cycles. Every chip Apple designs will be 100% carbon neutral, from invention to manufacturing. So will you purchase an M2-powered Mac or a high-end Intel-powered Windows computer? Comment below what you would prefer to work on. Will getting a Mac help you in your daily work routine?